Hello, dear friends. My name is Daria. I am psychologist, psychoanalyst, and a spiritual teacher, and I am happy to welcome you on my channel. Each of you has vague, magical memories from childhood, when you knew you could manage reality in a happy way, which now, if you tell someone about these memories, they will be considered just a child's fantasy. Now we need to clear this inner spiritual vision. And what we have to do first is to work with emotional blocks. And you have to work with your emotional blocks in order to discover your own power, your own will, which is the so-called muscle that connects you to the power of intention. And the activated power of intention is able to transform your life, your reality. So to begin with, you first need to reach the state of total internal emotional balance. Only in this way, when the emotional sphere is like the surface of a lake, where there are no ripples and waves, and thus we can see through this lake and see the true face of our magical soul in the mirror of the universe. Now think about why in our reality there are so many problems with stress, artificial concepts of guilt, insults, resentment, supposedly moral standards that do not bring anything truly beneficial to humanity. I am now talking about false moral standards, such as keep your head down, or live like everyone else, or what the boss said, do it, or pretend to want to work hard at work and be proud that you haven't been on vacation for several years. This whole mess is the most critical factor that prevents you from turning on your inner strength, which can lead you out of the labyrinths of perception of life in which a person thinks that he or she can change little in life. Imagine that the restrictions that destructive emotional scenarios impose on you, and not only the so-called destructive ones, but also any energy-consuming intense emotions, are like a hoop squeezing your spiritual vision and capabilities. Let me give you an example. If a person gets angry and irritated a lot, even if it seems to be everyday little things, for example, I arrived at the store and my favorite parking lot for my car is occupied. Or the customer in front of me at the checkout takes too long to pay. Or relatives are nagging and grumbling. Or the boss is putting pressure on me at work. Then in these cases all the mental energy is lost in processing this unreasonable task, which is getting angry, afraid, irritated, complaining and retelling these stories to others, obsessing over it for a very long time, and even when it seems to have calmed down, getting triggered again at the slightest hint of such kind of situations. But also positive emotions almost equally deplete the reserve of psychic energy necessary to clarify the will and intention, which are necessary to be able to control reality. Although in culture there is such an understanding of smile, rejoice, jump and rage, celebrate, share your feelings, but all this is fundamentally wrong. If we want to accumulate personal power and become more powerful beings and be able to be not a pawn of someone else's game, but creators of our free game of life, game of being. If you are interested in the question of our spirituality, who we really are, subscribe to my channel, and you are always welcome to ask questions in the comments below.